had to do this YouTube live because I couldn't get anything else to work, especially on a day like today, but this is all I have. I have StreamYard and battery decided to die. So it literally is I'm not allowed to get my message out, which maybe I should be heeding that message from the universe, but I don't think it's the universe so much. I think that it's something else doesn't want me to talk, but I'm just going to do this. And I figured after all the time I've devoted of my life over the last certain number of years to fight democracy, that I should at least make a video on election day. And so here I am. Yes, it's my little John Lennon ornament. Uh, isn't it cute? And so, yeah, here I am. Now, if you guys have been with me long, and some of you have, some probably never know who I am. My name is Amy, and I'm one of the intuitives on YouTube who has predicted pretty much everything. I would say from on my side, I've predicted almost everything 45 has done. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe there's some devious part of me that understands that behavior. And literally everything he has done or been about to do, I've called him out on it. And Putin too. Same thing with him. So I don't know. Going back to even in 2016, I started to call out certain things about 45 and warn people. But did people listen to? No, they did not, because I guess we all had to have this lesson. Now, I don't think that today's going to be or tonight's going to be like 2016. I think it's going to be more like when Obama won, um, the second term, especially, where a lot of people had been fed doubt about him and his economy and etc. A lot of smear campaigns on him, and there was doubt that he would win his second term, but he did. And I remember it was about 10:40 at night, maybe it was 10 o'clock, I don't know. I was on Facebook and they announced it, and so it was before I went to bed, and I remember just being so relieved because I love Obama, and I'll never feel bad about that. I love Obama. I've had 3 dreams where he has hugged me. His great-great-grandfather is buried in the cemetery up the road, a celebrated war hero. Wolfie is his name, and I love Obama. I love him, I love him, I love him. And so people tried to make him sound like a horrible person. The far right. Republicans love to do that. Now we're at the point where it's like, which one's the Antichrist? And the battle of the you know, well, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But here I am. It's election day. I do feel, as I've said, 99.9% that Kamala will win. I've felt that all along. Why? Because when Biden won, I was shown that 45's time was up. He'd done a lot of damage, and he's since done a lot of damage just on his own by disrupting and dividing society and influencing people he shouldn't influence. But those people, I guess, have had to learn their lesson about that, about who you follow and who you let control you and actions you take. And, it really is, this really is like a battle of light and dark. And I said this morning, it's really not a time for people to vote independent. If you're out there and you're thinking of voting independent, this is the worst possible time for you to do that because it's a wasted vote. You're not going to get your Jill Stein, and you know that. You know they're not going to win. It's a wasted vote. This is about saving America. It literally is. 45 wants to destroy America, and Kamala wants to. It's not status quo. She has a new vision, and she has great plans, well written, well laid out plans. She's very organized. Look at her rallies. Look at the very beginning of like with the DNC, how organized that was. Look at all the way up until last night. Last night was that huge show with in Philly with Lady Gaga was there and Katy Perry was there, and it was well organized. And it was the last thing. It was a gift to her voters with the money they donated. And Kamala is extremely organized. She has a great team around her, and she knows how to delegate. And I think that is her track record right there, is how well she planned and organized her campaign, even ads and airplanes and things like that. Very well organized. But this is a battle of light and dark, and I've said that probably a lot of the votes are going to show this 50-50, almost a 50-50 split, although I really I tend to think that it's gonna be a landslide tonight, and we're gonna find out early. I've said we're gonna find out by 10 o'clock, depending what 10 o'clock my time, I'm Central, and some people are gonna find out, by 8 o'clock. And why is that? Because that's when their polls close. Like Virginia, they had at 8 o'clock this morning, I watched on TV, they showed because they only have 6 residents, their voting ended in the morning. So they already counted their votes, and it was split. It was 3 for Trump, 45, 3 for 45, and 3 for Kamala. Now, I really think that in certain states, mostly, obviously blue states, it's gonna be a tsunami. And I do think that it's going to be called early. Now, are they going to be able to count all the mail-in ballots tonight? No, that's going to take a while, just like last time when, okay, so when 45 supporters, they have this argument and they say, well, I'm so mad. I know it was stolen last time because before I went to bed, he was winning. And then when I got up in the morning, there was all these secret votes that came in. It's called counting. And we were in a pandemic where people were still getting their groceries delivered to their house. So of course it took a while to count. Of course it took all night to count some of those. And it took all the way until that Saturday. And then you had Giuliani, all the networks. It took a while. We were in a pandemic, a 100-year deadly pandemic. That it was necessary for people to have mail-in ballots. This time, people have been voting early. Most of a whole bunch, I would say 70% of votes have already been cast. So this is all we have already had election day, and it's ending now. This is final countdown, and it really is an epic battle of light and dark, good and evil, and you can decide which one that is. But I would say the side who really has shown love and concern for the voters and not had death threats for voters and mudslinging, etc., names. You know, the party that cares about their voters, who cares about their future, and that's something that's really here about, let's say MAGA, right? MAGA. MAGA says we want to go back. Well, back to what? Back to what? It's America is beautiful. Every day we progress. Evolution is progression. We can go back in our minds and memories, things like that. I'd love a time machine, but it's not healthy to go back to when there's no antibiotics, back to when there's no civil rights and no laws and due process with immigration. It's and here's the thing that's selfish to me. When MAGA is literally saying all these rules that they have about Gen Z, you can't do this in school. You can't have this in your future. You blah, 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 blah. Taking away the very identity of Gen Z, and it's their time. They're in their 20s now, a lot of them. Gen Z is in their 20s. This is their time. MAGA people, usually an older generation, they've had their time. Okay? This is Gen Z's time, and you don't get to come in and tell Gen Z who they can love, how they can love, how they can dress, what they can have, what books they can read. No. And that is not American. That's like, I've felt many times like we've been in the Civil War again. But also I have felt like we've been in the Puritan times of early settlers. Very like the Scarlet Letter. We have been in the era of the Scarlet Letter. And, telling women how to vote. I got another strike on TikTok yesterday because I literally said, fake a Trumpism. Fake a Trumpism, and just say that, women have had to fake it before, right? We've had to fake many things. But it's actually a law. You can't tell someone how to vote, and someone doesn't have to tell you how they voted. And a marriage contract does not void out that right of yours to vote the way that you do not have to tell their husband or anyone how they vote. In fact, that could cause domestic violence. So who is it, Charlie Kirk, was mad about that, and 45 was mad about. I hope I'm still here. I don't know if this is still live. I'm probably not live. So, okay, I'm still live. Well, bear with me. I have a horrible network. I'll probably end it soon. Maybe I'll come on later, do a live. We'll see. But I just wanted to come on and say she's gonna win. And again, if she doesn't, we can cry together. But it's the time. I've never seen 45 coming back, never. And just by the pure numbers, 4, 5 is 9. 9 is an ending. It's a power number. He really had a lot of power, but it's an ending. And for entertainment purposes only, you know how he's had to do all these rallies, including up until last night. And you could see they're really pumping him with drugs for entertainment purposes only because I don't know anyone after a certain age do all of that. And I really think that they have pumped him with drugs. And that's why I think he's gotten on stage and said the weirdest things, but also a lot of truths because he's just so out of his mind. He's really drugged up. Um, I think he's going to collapse after this. I don't wish that on him, but I think after tonight, he's going to collapse because he's going to be so exhausted. You can only do so much to your body and put it through so much. Anyway, I don't wish harm on anyone, but my intuitive prediction has always been that if it wasn't Biden, because all we knew was Biden was going to run, I knew that Kamala was going to take over after he won. And I still feel like Biden would win. Why? Because 45's time is over. I know a lot of people would say, well, if Kamala didn't step in, Biden would have lost. But I've never felt that because I always saw that 45 was never going to get back in office. His time is over. The universe pushed him out already. So, but here's the thing. I always saw that Kamala would be given more and more duties by President Biden. And I also feel like she's already been president for the last 6 months or more because he hasn't been feeling well. She's already been president and she's proven to do a good job. Now, has it been easy? Will it be easy? No. Okay. She's going to win. I see ticker tape parades. I see the same thing as 2020, bells across the world, church bells ringing, people crying in joy, dancing in the streets. I see that tomorrow people are going to start putting out Christmas decorations. We're going to have an early Christmas. Thanksgiving is kind of late this year. It's the end of the month, so we would have a shorter Christmas season. And I see a lot of people coming in and doing just doing Christmas now. It's Christmas now. Tonight when they announce it, and they'll announce it. And I just saw 300. So maybe that's the electoral for her. It's gonna be a landslide. Again, if I'm wrong, come back, cry with me. I got my beer. I've got my beer. I'm not gonna get through this without a beer. Yesterday was like the longest day waiting for election day. Today I feel much calmer. Last week was slow. This whole election period has been slow. But you know what? I'm mad. I'm mad that I had for 3 times to vote against this MFer. Sorry, I don't wish him harm. I don't hate him, but has put us through terrorism. And for those of us who have been through abuse our entire life, I did not need to go through this. I did not need to have to go through this fear again. He's a terrorist, in my opinion. He's put us through terror. But again, he knows not what he does. He's affected with narcissism, and it's the people around him. These selfish, rich, out of touch people, they know what they're doing. They're selfish. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I feel it's like the let them eat cake crowd, and they just used him like Weekend at Bernie's to elongate their power. And I'm seeing Alina Habba using him, letting him pretty much kill himself with these drugs. And it's criminal, in my opinion. It's criminal. Well, anyway, my prediction is again, I'll say it again, and I have to go get my son here after a while. My prediction is again, Kamala's going to win and Tim Walz are going to win. There's going to be celebration. Tomorrow will be like the big day. We'll know tonight by bedtime. Okay. Tonight, before you go to bed, you're going to hear fireworks. Okay. And so I'm guessing at least I'm seeing something at 8 o'clock. So maybe that's the East Coast. Maybe that's the West Coast. I don't know. But my time, 10 o'clock, is when I think we're going to get an announcement. By 8 o'clock, I think we're going to know. And 10 o'clock will be official. Tomorrow, they're going to have to still count all the mail-in ballots because they just had to start doing that today. 70%, what I'm getting, 70% of people have voted early. Like I'm one of those people. Why did we do that? Because we knew crap could go down. Pennsylvania is having their their voting machines have gone down. So they're having people to do provisional ballots. Well, that makes you wonder. Pennsylvania is the state. Erie County is the place that decides. And I knew that would happen. And when they said, oh, well, people can just come in and vote with the whole weird ballot thing that happened in Lancaster County. And I was like, yeah, what happened? crap doesn't work. So and then 45 is gonna say, "Oh, that was planned by the Democrats, and it's all cheating, and don't count those provisional ballots," and yada yada. Meanwhile, it was his PAC that did all this and for entertainment purpose only, but it's proven that his PAC was the one that had Elon Musk do that lottery. Now, let me tell you about that lottery. I said from the very beginning, the very first time I heard about that $1 million lottery to sign people up, vote, vote, vote. I said in Pennsylvania, because that's the state to win. I said, there ain't no $1 million check. and he knows the winners. And so I read yesterday that um, indeed, those people were part of the far right, the PAC, and they signed agreements almost like celebrity, like be on this television show, have make this appearance. They were recruited, they signed up, they're part of the party, they're with 45, they're with Musk, they were known. There ain't no checks, they're not winners. It was all a scam. They scammed people to get people to sign up. Blood money, signing up. Those, all the regular people, they're never going to see $1 million check. They were used. Pennsylvania paid like a tennis ball or like a pickleball. and 45 is going to say, you have to recount, 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 and delay, delay. No, no. How about no? I love the yay or whoever the guy who said yesterday, F around and find out. That was marvelous. I love that. F around and find out. They've already stopped down in Georgia. Raffensperger said they've stopped some Russian interference. I mean, this is the epic battles. Like, if you've ever played a video game, you know, you have the final boss and 45 and Uten and all these entities and Elon Musk. They're all this final boss that we're like swatting off all that, throwing fireballs at him and swords and whatnot. Kamala's gonna win. She's gonna win. She's winning. And by 8 o'clock, we'll know, 10 o'clock, we'll really know. And there will be parades. And Christmas starts tomorrow. Fa la 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 la. As you saw on Saturday Night Live. Watch that Saturday Night Live appearance again with Kamala and Maya Rudolph, which was so beautiful. I was so touched when I saw that. I just thought that was so beautiful. Anyway, the guy that plays 45, he did one of his rallies like for a skit. I would laugh so hard. You guys need to go back and watch that. If I find it, I'll post it. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get my son from school here in a while because I'm a mother too, as well as all this stuff. And but yeah, everything's gonna be fine. I think we can all feel it's gonna be fine. I think the worst moments were here the last couple weeks where like putting us through all of that with the Madison Square Garden thing. Another strike I received on TikTok because all I said was, "Hey, if someone called me a flashist, I wonder why, and reevaluate myself." That's all I said. And reporting me on there. Anyway, let's talk about this real quick. It doesn't matter anymore. It's too late. They never reported it. But this will come out more in the news after. Epstein said that he slept with Melania. And he mentioned 45 a crap load of times and said they were best friends. I don't know why the news doesn't report that, but the CEOs, just like after the debate, it was, pretty obvious. We've learned so much about all the dirty business, dirty laundry of 45 and all the people he's influenced because of moolah. And in a day, but at least we know now. We're much wiser. And well, anyway, I hope you guys all voted. I really hope that people aren't wasting their vote on an independent vote. To me, okay, I feel like a lot of spiritual people were like, I'm not going to say that I want to vote for 45. And I also don't want to be told to vote for Kamala. So I'm going to vote independent and I'm going to say it's spiritual. Because what the F? Like, seriously, what the F? And I saw when Robert Kennedy said, when RFK said that he was dropping his campaign, I was like, yeah, right. He's still going to be on the ballots. And he is. It's all been a scam. It's all been a scam. My vote went for the person who really truly is going to help America and cares about America, and that's Kamala. And someday everybody's gonna, it's like the wizards, the flying monkeys, which is MAGA, they're gonna wake up from their dream, they're gonna see how they service this evil witch, 45, and they're what happened and where's my dignity and look at all that horrible stuff I did for her, for him. And they're gonna wake up. They're gonna wake up. Um, it's never too late. Kamala is gonna win. It may be close. I doubt it. I don't think it's gonna be that close, but I don't know. Um, again, if I'm wrong, then we can cry together. But things, as I've said, we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We've been moving into it. We're not going back. Time's not going to go backwards. Planets aren't going to reverse for us like Superman. We're moving forward into the age of Aquarius. And even if 45 were to get reelected, which he's not, but even if he were, that whole era of him is over anyway. It would be destroyed somehow, maybe his health, and I don't wish bad things on him or anyone. But it's just and by the way, so yeah, we're moving into healthier, more progressive inventions in health. AI, the positive side of AI that's going to help people, things with health, things way true intelligence is that's true intelligence. And AI one day may help us vote. It may. I think it'll help us with religion because religion has been very, uh, like promoted violence and it's also kept children. It's been mind abuse. It's been emotional abuse on children. I'm one of them that has been through it, and I think the AI will do is it will take all of the religion, all the texts, everything from India to England, and it'll say, here's the highlights of what most religion says that is good and healthy for mankind and helps you elevate and ascend and and know your true self and that the universe is within. And it'll take all the bad stuff that's like that women are bad and evil and we should hurt our children and you sacrifice your child on them and all these darkness and evil and dark and you're a sinner and blah 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 blah. It'll take all of this and God smite this country and this country's evil and this religion is evil and blah blah blah. It'll take all that and say this is unhealthy and this is mind control, it's indoctrination, and it leads to submission and abuse and war and sexual abuse. And AI is going to say, here's what the best part of religion is. AI, true intelligence, will be compassion. And I also think we're going to have open contact. And Bashar said that the female president would lead us to open contact, which is good because hello, we're all aliens. We're all in the universe. We're all floating around in the universe. And I think that Jesus was a Pleiadian. Anyway, that's the weird part of what I'm talking about. I'm about to be done here, you guys. Thanks for listening. I don't know if there's comments. I'm not seeing comments. If there are, I will address them later. Thanks for watching. And, no matter what happens, it's going to be okay. Because, again, I actually think the worst thing that we went through was in 2016. I really think that was the worst of the worst. And we've been slowly from the ashes. That was a doomsday, really, truly a doomsday situation that was almost like 9/11. And we're coming out of that slowly but surely. And yeah, I think that Christmas starts tomorrow. You have urges to get a tree and decorate your house. I say go for it because we have if we're where we are at now, then we have fought so hard to be here, and you deserve to celebrate. You deserve to be happy. Um, Kamala is such a beautiful. Not only is she beautiful on the outside, she's a beautiful. Oh, and this is something I want to. Let me end it on this. She's a beautiful person. She's a beautiful light. I saw that same light in Obama's eyes. Okay. So I saw something last week where it was in India where they were celebrating, I think, Denali, I think is what it is, and they were dedicating their prayers to Kamala. Now, Kamala means lotus. I actually asked Spirit to give me a stichomancy last week, and I said, who's going to win the election? And they showed me a literature passage, and it said, the person whose name has a flower in it. And I was like, well, that's Kamala. That's Kamala, because her name means lotus. I just thought that was so beautiful in India that they gave their prayers to her. And I really and it is the time of the feminine. It is the time of the flower. The lotus is your crown chakra. It is awakening to the universe. And that's beautiful. It's the light of the universe, light flowing out of us and light coming into us. And, one person isn't going to solve all our problems. It's going to be hard. I mean, Kamala's going to have just as much trouble as, like, I see that she's going to be a lot like Bill Clinton, ironically. And I say ironically because, he's a white guy and she's this, beautiful black woman. Um, but I do see that she's going to be a lot like Bill Clinton, where she's going to do a lot for the economy and also boost the housing market, which I have mixed feelings on that because I don't like urban sprawl. So we have to figure out how to help our planet while helping, the people have their homes that they want, but we still have a planet to take care of. And that's something I really want her to work on too, is helping the planet. I think she will, because she honors Gen Z, and that's something Gen Z cares about, is the planet. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Um, I love you guys. Have no fear, because as they say, the only thing to fear is fear itself. We've already risen from the ashes and we're moving into a higher consciousness. And we worked hard and we didn't work for nothing. So no matter what happens, we didn't work for nothing. We are on this higher platform. Oh, and that's something. I dropped my son off at school, and on the radio was with, the Beatles and of course John Lennon. And at the end of the song he's screaming, "It's all right. It's all right. It's gonna be all right." And I just thought that was just such a great message from John, that everything was gonna be all right. So, love you guys. Hang in there. And I may come back later. You never know. Thanks for watching. Bye.